Friday. That means it's time to deploy. Jim, how was your week?
Good, good. Happy it's Friday though. Getting a bit thirsty. Looking forward to the end of it. What about you?
It was good. What does that mean? You're a little bit thirsty. Or is this a classic Aussie thing that I don't know about?
Yeah,
I
I
am
think
an
so.
Australian citizen. I don't know what that means.
I'm just a bit thirsty. I need a beer.
Ah, yes, the beer. Australians and beer. Yes, it's like nuts and I guess nuts and chocolate or nuts and gum, depending
Yeah,
upon how you look at it. So, yeah,
yeah,
week was
yeah.
good. Very busy. We did a few things during the week. We announced a few things as well. We'll get into them in this episode. Anything new from your team, or you guys just actually let's save that for later. We'll talk a little
Yeah,
bit about
yeah,
the
yeah.
stuff that you guys are working on. So, let's go ahead and get into the news. All right, so this is an article from Sean. He wrote a blog post here entitled "How to Connect to an EFS Storage Class to an EKS Cluster." So I'm not sure what provider you like using. If you're a Google man or an Azure man or an AWS man, but Sean here has been utilizing the AWS Elastic Kubernetes Service, or EKS. So he's clearly on the most popular provider of choice. The Kubernetes agent requires a storage class to provide volume, so it has a file system to work with. The customer wanted to use the EFS for the storage class, couldn't find a walkthrough, so I went ahead, like every good developer, I went ahead and built one. So Sean here has provided basically a how-to tutorial in the form of a blog post on how to connect your EFS storage class to an EKS cluster. And of course, as part of this, I was going to show along the way how this works in relation to all the knobs and buttons that are in AWS. AWS is quite a monster, quite a beast when you use it from time to time. So, yeah. What's your experience with AWS?
It's been a while, to
Positive,
be honest.
negative, what? Indifferent?
Look, I always loved AWS, but they are low-level building blocks, right? Lots of knobs and buttons on them compared to something like Azure or Google Cloud. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great having docs like this that all the details filled in for you.
That's right. Please do this, then do this. This is the Julia
Yeah,
Childs.
yeah,
Here's one I created earlier
yeah,
type
yeah.
blog posts. So, awesome. Yeah, definitely something that comes along the way. There's nothing in Octopus in this blog post. It's just talking about how to basically connect it to, but it is something that a lot of developers, or rather a lot of users, have to do. Moving right along, we have our webinars, as always. It seems to be a common refrain here on this show. So if you go to octopus.com/webinars, you'll see we have our 101 series, which is going to be wrapping up in September. We recently hosted our second part entitled GitOps and Argo. This is now available up on our YouTube channel. So Dan Garfield and friends ran this session. So it's up available there. You can check it out. That's up on our Codefresh channel. But this is part of our 101 series in September, September 3rd to be precise, environments and promotions. So there you go, all the exciting stuff there. Earlier today, Liam and Frank hosted the Kubernetes workload reliability best practices. That's where they went through all the findings, the tips and tricks that we've experienced over the years, and how to best manage your workloads in Kubernetes clusters from a reliability perspective. So that's definitely one to check out. And that one is also available up on our YouTube channel, which is the Octopus Deploy YouTube channel. So you can check out that one there as well. Coming up, we have our webinar with the Octopus Cloud team, talking about how they use Kubernetes to create, manage, and maintain Octopus Cloud. Very exciting webinar. We're going to be having the actual folks who run Octopus Cloud on there talking to us about it. And then, and this is new, we have a new webinar scheduled for September 3rd entitled, actually, this hasn't been updated yet. We're going to be talking about our new Kubernetes worker. We've changed the title of this, but basically we have a new worker that will run on Kubernetes to provide scalability for your deployments.
So excited.
Yes. So the team is going to be talking to all of you about that. That is on September 3rd. So make sure to register for that. There will be a new title. I think it's something like introducing our new worker for Kubernetes or something to that effect. And then, of course, later on, the 101 series, we are going to add some more to this list. We have some just pending right now. We have some more webinars that are coming, but this is always in a state of flux. So keep an eye on this space. I mentioned the recordings, so you can check out those. She got shipped 89 days. I know it doesn't seem like it's that close, but there is still time for you to reserve your seat as well as submit a speaker session. So I would love for everyone hearing my voice, everyone seeing me, to commit to themselves to submit a session. We have, I think we just covered, I think we just crossed 20 sessions now that have been submitted. Yeah. So my goal is about to have 100 to pick from. And then if you're at all interested, feel free to submit a session. We we don't discriminate here. We love all kinds of sessions, lightning talks, etc., on a wide variety of topics. So feel free to submit on anything that you find interesting around Codefresh or Octopus Deploy, as well as a wide variety of interest levels there. So check that out. That's off of our website, which is /shipped. And make sure to reserve your seat. We do, if you're all curious about what this looks like, you can take a look at the sessions we hosted last year. Paul and many others did sessions on Octopus Deploy. This year, we're not only making it longer, it's going to be 2 days, it's also going to feature a lot more content. So as you can probably tell, we're going to be talking a lot more because of the acquisition we made in March around Codefresh. So there's a lot more to talk about. So if you want to read about this and other things, check out Shipped. We have a new case study that we've recently published. This is the Gaming Innovations Group. Change failure rate is almost non-existent with Octopus. So this is a really cool case study that we recently published. GIG, or Game Innovation Group. They talked a little bit about how they utilize this. You can check this out up on our case study page. These case studies are great. They really showcase like what companies are finding when utilizing Octopus, how they use it, where they use it, and what sort of improvements they see when they use it and apply it. So these are great stories. And if you need any sort of help in terms of pitching Octopus, this is probably a really good way to do it, is to take a look at our case studies, which are growing almost weekly now. We have a large swath of case studies available, so feel free to check those out. Those are up at our website. Those are, I think, under customers. Yes, good. And then this is something that we wanted to talk a little bit about. So we announced the alpha program for resilient, scalable deployments in Octopus Cloud a few months back. And this is part of your team. So what's going on here? Just a little bit to give people a sense of what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I think I've spoken about it before a bit, right? Like we were, so one of the big problems that we have sometimes when customers try and do maintenance on Octopus Server or in cloud when we upgrade Octopus Server, if you happen to be doing deployments at that time, your deployments will fail. We'll cancel them for you because we can't be sure that we can come back up and resume them. So we're doing a lot of work to almost completely rebuild the part of Octopus that does the deployments, actually takes what you've configured and makes it so. And we're doing it to survive termination of nodes and horizontally scale across multiple nodes as well. So we had some good progress this week, and we sort of have got a bunch of the key parts of the pipeline in place. So things are moving well.
Yeah, we have a channel where we share a lot of these wins. It's called Postcards, and I don't think we're telling tales out of school here, but you posted recently a GIF that highlights some of the work that you're doing. So describe here to folks what they're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, what you're looking at is a deployment executing. Now, it's not an impressive demo in that it looks no different to one you may have seen before, except that if I were to kill the server that was running this process, it would in fact start back up and resume again. So you can see we've got a bunch of the good parts of the pipeline there going, where we've got a few steps, some steps that run on failure, some steps that don't. We're acquiring packages and dynamic workers in our cloud environment and all that sort of stuff. So it's all starting to come together and be a useful thing.
Exciting stuff. I'm sure you and your team are looking forward to finally getting this over the line, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
bit of a road to go yet, but yeah.
So, how long have you guys been working on this? Just out of curiosity, like it's been months.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I mean, I think it's we've only really been having a lot of the team work on it for about 6 weeks or so. So before that, it was just a sort of a scouting party ahead, trying to work out how to architect this thing so that it was both, reliable, resilient, and maintainable and understandable, and we could use all the existing features from the existing pipeline. Because you're not supposed to do big rebuilds of stuff. You're supposed to refactor your way there, but that comes with its own risks. And if we tried to refactor the existing pipeline, we don't want to break your deployments. It's been a really interesting journey. And I'd say there's going to be a ship talk in it at some point on how we went about balancing, not breaking everyone, reusing stuff, re-architecting at the same time. Yeah.
I like it. That's awesome stuff. Thanks for sharing. Well, there you go. That's another week of the news that was around Octopus Deploy and Codefresh. And if you happen to stumble upon this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Otherwise, we will see you on the next one. Take care, everyone, and happy deployments.